Dead Space is one of my favorite video games of all time. The feeling of horror and dread that this game gives off is like no other, and the atmosphere and gameplay only help to add to it. Alongside an entertaining story, the variety of tools at your disposal, the viscerally disturbing enemy designs, and the characters we see throughout, it all blends together into one disgusting, disturbing, and amazing game. And I think the game sets its tone perfectly with its first chapter. In this video, I'll be going over the opening of Dead Space and explain why I think it has one of the best openings of all time. Before I dive in, I'd just like to give a bit of context for those who don't know how the Dead Space universe works. In the 25th century, Earth has lost a massive chunk of its resources and is on the brink of collapse. In desperation to keep our homeworld alive, the Concordance Extraction Corporation, better known as the CEC, is formed. The main purpose of this corporation is to find various celestial objects, mine them for their resources, and bring the payload back to Earth to keep it alive. The main way they accomplish this is through massive ships called planet crackers, which do exactly as the name implies. While the CEC is free to mine as many planets as needed, one planet in the Cygnus system is strictly prohibited from being cracked, Aegis 7. The CEC, however, decides to do an illegal mining operation on the planet anyway, bringing their first and most successful planet cracker, the USG Ishimura. However, something happens on Aegis 7, and the communication systems black out on the ship. The Ishimura still manages to send out a distress signal, and the CEC sends a repair ship, the USG Kellion, to diagnose and repair the Ishimura's communication system, leading to the first chapter, New Arrivals.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing.
In New Arrivals, we meet the crew of the USG Kellion. Security personnel Haley Johnston and Aiden Chen, Chief Security Officer Zach Hammond, Computer Specialist Kendra Daniels, and Engineering and Ship Specialist Isaac Clarke. As they fly towards the Cygnus system, we see that aside from Hammond knowing Chen and Johnston, the crew here aren't exactly close. They aren't hostile to one another, but they don't really know each other all that well. Isaac also has a video that he keeps on repeat of his girlfriend, Dr. Nicole Brennan, who says that things are falling apart on the Ishimura. Nicole's message is our first warning sign that something isn't right, but the Kellion continues with their mission regardless. As they enter the system, they see the Ishimura in orbit over Aegis 7, holding onto a massive chunk of the planet they pulled out. The next warning sign comes as Isaac points out that they should be able to see the running lights on the ship, but it's incredibly dark. Another warning happens when Chen tries making contact but doesn't get a proper response and hears something garbled over comms. The Kellion is about to land on the Ishimura, but suddenly the automated guidance system isn't responding and they almost crash into the hull. Isaac manages to point to an emergency stabilizer, and they get inside, but not without any damage. Johnston has a broken ankle, and the Kellion is damaged. Hammond takes everyone but Johnston to go get help, and the game begins. The four of them make their way to the flight lounge, noting along the way that there seems to be no one in flight control, and how no one bothered to check the landing zone. They get signed into the system, but Hammond can't reach security, and Isaac can't reach the chief engineer. In the flight lounge, they find it to be completely empty. No one is in the security office, no duty logs have been made, and the power to the facility seems to be off aside from the security console and the lights. Chen also notes a distinct and nasty smell coming from the air vents. Isaac goes into the office to get a damage report and finds that half of the Ishimura is in the red. Daniels manages to get power restored, but before anyone can leave, the quarantine system goes off and locks down the flight lounge. Hammond asks if it's a malfunction, but Isaac confirms that the quarantine systems are working properly. Suddenly, a necromorph comes out of the vents and kills Chen in front of everyone. Daniels manages to bypass the quarantine and opens the doors, giving the three a chance to run. Isaac has to take a different route, though, and finds an elevator while being chased by more necromorphs. He gets to the elevator, almost gets attacked, but necros don't know that elevator doors are dangerous, and Isaac gets his first tool of survival, the plasma cutter. The plasma cutter is essentially all reliable. You see, in Dead Space, you can't just shoot these creatures in the head to instantly kill them. You have to aim for 2 or more limbs, and you need to be precise with how you do it early on. Each time you shoot at their limbs, you can see parts of their skin and muscle tissue get blown off down to the bone. It's nasty. and on harder difficulties, enemies can take more damage than you, so you need to find the best possible way to handle these encounters. Back to the story. Isaac finds the tram control station and gets contacted by Daniels and Hammond, who had just managed to escape. They formulate a plan to repair the trams and get to the bridge. Isaac has to replace the broken tram car gridlocking the system and replace the data board. As Isaac goes through each hallway, this feeling of not knowing what's about to happen starts getting to you. You're at square one. Your suit isn't leveled up and you don't have any other tools or upgrades. It's just you and the plasma cutter. But the first chapter is still the easiest in the game, so you'll learn to manage. You also gain the stasis module here, and let me tell you, the stasis module will be your best friend. Stasis completely slows down enemies to a crawl and allows you to get more precise hits in, even at its earliest level. Stasis is incredibly useful. Just make sure to refill it as quickly as possible. Isaac manages to get the tram working again, giving Hammond and Daniels a secure way of transport. They now have to get the Kellion repaired and report to the bridge. Isaac gets to the Kellion, but he and Johnston see the Singularity Core being attacked by more Necros. Johnston dies and the Kellion is destroyed. With the crew stuck on the Ishimura, the plan is to get the dead captain's rig and head to the control room. But before Isaac can get to medical to find the captain's body, Hammond and Daniels are attacked by a reanimated Chen, leading to Isaac losing their signal and being left alone for now. Isaac then heads to the medical, ending Chapter 1, and one of the best openings in video game history. Dead Space wastes no time setting up what you're about to go through. The eeriness of space, the empty feeling of the Ishimura when you first arrive, and the sudden reveal of the enemies you'll encounter throughout all add to this amazing experience. As I've said, the game sets its tone perfectly at the start, and as you progress through and get more upgrades for your suit and weapons, you start to feel more confident and stronger than you did at the beginning. There's not much else I can say without talking about the other chapters, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for watching, have a good whatever time it is, and I'll see you later.